Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the Casual Sports Talk Podcast, Week 5 Stocks Edition. And now, the man that's looking at the fine-tooth comb of Deshaun Watson's contract, here's Chris.
Yeah. Screw Deshaun Watson. Go Browns.
Oh, man. What a shame, man. What a shame.
I feel like every week I just got to make fun of the Browns. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, me too. I'm right there with you, Stu. It's terrible. And then for Stefanski to say that he's going to be a starting quarterback next week as well.
Yeah.
My friends and I have theories about why Stefanski said Watson's going to be our starting quarterback and no quarterback changes. But
Jimmy Haslam is the worst owner ever. Just saying.
Well, yeah, Jimmy Haslam and Stefanski, they had to talk something behind closed doors that they can't really disclose to the media. So, yeah. Oh, well.
And then we got a gentleman right over here who realizes he's never want to go back to Washington ever again. Here's Douglas.
Wait, what? What do I have against Washington?
Yeah, why would he not want to go to Washington?
Are you talking about the Wolverines, Stu? This is NFL. We're throwing college jabs out here, Stu?
Yes, I had to. You're in a break, man.
Unbelievable.
I had to. I'm sorry, Douglas.
Stu, I'm hoping that some Ducks eat some Buckeyes this weekend.
Boo! Boo! Boo this man! Boo this man! I just got to say,
Oregon's going to show that who the best team in the Big Ten.
Boo! Anyway, so this week we're going to talk about the Week 5 NFL stocks recap and all that stuff. But, Douglas, you get to go first because we get to discuss our strategies for how to make some money off of these stocks. And money,
yeah,
I'm going to get some money off of these stocks because I'm beating up on you guys.
Heck yeah. So, we're trying to think of how we can expand the tier maker into something new. So, we're going to, after the end of the show, we're going to take the median for each team and we'll all get some money and we'll get to buy some stock options and we'll see who can make the most money by the end of the season. So each week we'll do a segment where we'll buy, we'll sell, we'll make transactions, and we'll see if we can, increase past our initial budget and who can kind of make the most money and, put their stock in the right spot, if you will.
Yes. And I'm just going to say, gentlemen, let the best man win. And the best man, I mean me.
All right. We'll see at the end of the season, Stu.
How dare you? How dare you? I'm gonna get these good stocks. But anyway, gentlemen, what is your thoughts about this week in Week 5 of NFL right now? This actually was pretty good.
That Thursday night game was probably one of the best games of the season so far. It was nothing but action. It was great, suspenseful. It was amazing.
Yeah, wow. It was a fun week, man. Like, I think the biggest thing I'm learning about football in this day and age is no lead is safe, man. The amount of leads, the amount of 20, 30-point leads, it seems like that are gone here quickly. It's wild to me. It's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, unless you're a Browns fan, I'm sorry. That I have to put a jab on the Browns fan. That was not a good week for you.
I guess the good news for the Browns is now the QB market has gone up so much that he's a discount, right?
I'm cool with it. It seems like the Browns are tanking. Number 1, number 2 picks next week or next year projected Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. So I don't know what we're doing as a franchise.
I just gotta say one thing. Deshaun is paid $10 million more than Patrick Mahomes. Enough said.
Enough said. Enough said.
All right. So I guess we'll discuss all the. So this week also we had our first bye week. So we have 4 teams right over here that we're not going to go. So the Detroit Lions, we're not going to change their score. Chargers, we're not going to change their score. Eagles, we're not going to change their score. And also the Tennessee Titans, we're not going to change the score since they had a bye week. There's no point of really ranking since they didn't play this week. So,
sir, can you go back real quick? You said the Lions were at an 8, Chargers were at a what?
4-6-6.
All right.
And then Philly was 5-6-6, and then Titans were all triple twos.
Titans are at a 2. All right, there we go.
Triple twos, baby.
Triple
twos. So we'll start out with the loser of the week and Baker Mayfield. Granted, this was a great game. This is such a close game, but unfortunately, the power of Younghoe Koo and Kirk Cousins decided to win this game somehow. And gentlemen, what is your thought? But I guess we'll talk about how do you feel about the Buccaneers now being 3-2 right now? They lost 30-36 against the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I remember sitting here last week saying I couldn't figure out why the Falcons were favored, and I guess I was wrong. Bad take. I feel like the Buccaneers were in control of a lot of this game too. Like, I don't know, it's kind of a weird game, but like Chris said, it was a ton of fun.
It was a ton of fun. This was a great game. I had so much fun in this one. Theodore?
Oh, I mean, like Doug said, yeah, it seems like the Buccaneers were in charge the entire game, and then kind of slipped away. Let's see. It was 27-20 heading into the fourth quarter. Then, yeah, they were able to tie it 27-27, then 30-30, goes into overtime. And was it Darnell Mooney got injured on that one play, and they put Cardale Hodge in, and he got the game-winning touchdown? That was awesome.
Yeah. And then, but unfortunately, we gave 777s right now to the Buccaneers. So I guess I will start with how I feel about the Buccaneers. Okay, so they did lose to the Falcons, who have been pretty much been mid so far in the NFL season right now. But they did beat against the Falcons. I mean, the Buccaneers. I feel like they're probably going low. I still feel like they are technically in the NFC East lead. I mean, the NFC North, South. I would give them, if I'm thinking about it, I think I would give them a good 6 because I do feel like there's a lower score. I don't know if they can beat they can win a playoff game, but I definitely do feel like they're in the 6 right now. Theodore, you get to go up next.
Yeah, we all had them at 7s last week, and yeah, they lost. They're in second place in their division. They would still make the playoffs. I mean, the Buccaneers are still a tough team. I would still keep them at a 7. I can still see them winning a first-round playoff game. So, yeah, keep them at a 7.
Oh, and I will still argue every day when I do this podcast. I'm going to ask you this, Theodore. Do you miss that man yet? Do you miss him?
So my exact same answer every single week. Absolutely, I miss Baker Mayfield. I'm pretty sure half of Cleveland, if not all of Cleveland, or majority of Cleveland misses Baker Mayfield. What can you do? The past is the past.
Do you remember when you all wanted Baker Mayfield gone? Just the year after, I'm just saying.
We all. I don't know about we all, but
most of you Brownie fans.
Most of you. Were you taking a consensus? Were you taking a vote here still?
Whole review of Brownie fans had a 75% approval of getting rid of Baker Mayfield.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I think I'm more in line with Stuart on this one. I think I'm looking at the NFC, and there's a few teams that I don't know. I feel like the Vikings are better than expected. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of teams that could be competitive in the NFC. So I don't know if I see them winning a playoff game at the moment. I'll put them down to a 6, which for our scoring later, that means that the median is a 6. Ooh. So you can buy Buccaneer stock for 6.
Went down, baby. The stock went down. The stock has gone down.
Stock has gone down.
And now we got the Falcons. So, Theodore, you get to go first.
Falcons, we all had them at a 5 last week, and they won. So they're sitting first place in the NFC South. So if you're in first place in the division, you're going to be making the playoffs. So I'd jump them up from a 5 to a 6. Yeah, they have a magical team in Kirk Cousins. Bijan Robinson, he hasn't been all hot this season, unfortunately. Yeah, I wouldn't put them at a 7 winning a playoff game, but they would make the playoffs currently where they're at.
I just got to say one thing. Believe in the power of Koo.
Younghoe Koo.
Younghoe Koo can somehow get a 52-yarder, even missing 2 field goals, and still kick that last game kicker to win the game. But anyway, Douglas, what is your thoughts on the Falcons flying high?
Once again, I'm going to go along with Chris on this one. They feel like a team that's going to be competitive. Like something I find funny, just more on the fantasy side of things. I can't believe that Reese traded Drake London for Tank Dell.
Terrible trade. Terrible trade. Yeah.
And isn't Tank Dell? Isn't he out for a couple weeks?
I think he might be back, but he's like wide receiver like 35, 40, and Drake London's like wide receiver 2 or 3 now.
So he traded away London? Oh, man.
Yeah. I think he got frustrated because London started the season slow, and then all of a sudden Kirk Cousins was starting to connect, and he just put up like 34 points.
Oh my God! It's almost as maddening as I could have traded out Christian McCaffrey to Alex with a mid player, and he would have been out till week 9. Oh,
yeah,
that would have been the steal of the century. I'm just saying.
You should have done it, Stu. Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah, Stu. I'm 0 for 2 on trades this year, so I'm not doing very good.
I'm not doing any trades.
Thank you, Doug.
But anyway, I guess. I mean, Kirk Cousins looks amazing right now. I mean, this is definitely this feels like the good Kirk Cousins and not the bad Kirk Cousins right now. This feels like old school Kirk Cousins. Maybe I would say revival Kirk Cousins right now. But can they win a playoff game? I don't think they can for right now. I still don't feel as confident right now for the Falcons right now. Young Wei Ku's looking amazing. Kirk Cousins is getting them touchdowns. But I feel like as of right now, I still got to give him the 6 for right now. Prove him up, bump him up. We're going to the 6. Let's go.
Giving them a median stock value of a 6.
We got some stock rises, baby. Some rises right here. And unfortunately, we are not talking about some stock rises right now on this team. The JETX, Jets decided to go in London and lose 17-23 against the Vikings. So, Douglas, you get to go first, and you get to talk about your favorite. And I guess we got to talk about the breaking news that happened today. Robert Saleh is officially fired as a JETX Jets, and they decided to do the FIRE, fire.
D, you gotta put D at the end. Fired.
Fired.
Yeah. Man, oh man, what a disaster, man. Like I was excited for this team. And like oddly enough, I still think they have a chance. Like their schedule's kind of been rough. Because like this easily could have been more about Minnesota being like a lot better than people are giving them credit for. Because I mean, their defense is amazing. Like didn't they like hold Houston to like 7 points? Like this Minnesota team obliterated a really good Houston team. And so it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's more about the Jets or more about the Vikings. That being said, though, I mean, they're sitting there at 2-3, new head coach. Wait, they're 2-3, right?
Yeah, 2-3.
Like, I got to give them the 5. Like, I think they're still going to be competitive, but I just don't know if I see a playoff push or not. Like, Rodgers looks a little bit slow. He's not hitting some of those throws he used to hit. Like, he's lost a step, lost a touch, and I'm thinking I'm going to drop him down to a 5.
Unfortunately for me, Aaron Rodgers got 3 interceptions this game. This is not looking good. Also, we got to dock some points right now on the Jets. Week 5, you fire Robert Saleh right now. And okay, I'm going to go conspiratorial. I'm not conspiracy. Do you think this is Aaron Rodgers' decision? His hands on this decision of firing, of the termination of Robert Saleh?
Ooh, that's a good input right there.
Yeah. Because I remember Barstool Sports was like, there's a ominous clip that aged just like fine wine where it's like, man, I could fire the head coach. Aaron Rodgers said that in a Barstool interview. It's like, oh, maybe he has that power. I'm just saying. But saying if he does, but as just for the organization, I think honestly, I gave him the 5 last week. I got to get him down to the 4. Like, honestly, I was even contemplating, should I give him the 3? Just because, like I said, you fired your head coach in week 5. But I think I'm going to put him down to the 4. We'll see how it goes. This is not good right now for JETX Jets. They went from the Jets flying up to back to being the butt fumbled Jets.
Butt fumbled Jets.
So, Christopher, what is your thoughts about the JETX Jets?
Last week I had him at a 6. Yeah, right now they're sitting in second place in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills. Firing the head coach, yeah, Stuart, you have a good point of view there, or conspiracy, or theory, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Real quickly, go from a 6 to a 5, so that means our median's a 5. Yeah, I didn't really. I was sleeping a little bit on Sunday. Totally forgot there was a 9:30 a.m. game because it was in London, and I woke up at 10:45. I was like, oh man, 17-7.5. I mean, I understand the Vikings are a tough team and they're undefeated, but man, we'll call it a neutral site game. I was expecting the Jets to do a little bit more. And also Breece Hall, we're through 5 weeks. He only has 2 touchdowns. So I was expecting him to score a touchdown on Sunday. That didn't happen. So yeah, whatever's going on there, they need to correct it, turn it around, and start going. But right now they're playing as a team that's ranked at a 5.
And I hate to say it, it's not Robo Sal's fault that this team sucks. Just saying, it's not their fault. I'm just saying they're just bad. It's bad. It's bad all around. And I honestly will say this. Is this Aaron Rodgers' last year as a NFL player?
How many years is he having on his contract? Is this his last one?
I'm not sure if it's his last one, but I'm just like kind of contemplating. You know what I mean? Are we heading?
He might retire, disregard what his contract said.
Like, will he do is he going to be like the Eli Manning, the Ben Roethlisberger, where they're just a shell of themselves, and you kind of forget that this was like the elite Aaron Rodgers? Like, it's like, oh my God, this guy's terrible.
I could see it being his last season for sure.
But anyway, now we got to talk about the Minnesota Vikings, who are now 5-0. There's only 2 teams in the NFL right now, them and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are still undefeated, didn't have any losses right now. And we're going to start with me on how do I feel about the Minnesota Vikings. Last week, I gave them the 8, and I still think this team looks legit. I think this team looks really good. Sam Darnold looks really amazing. And, it's kind of funny to think about this, and I just realized this. People thought Sam Darnold was trash in the Jets organization. Then Geno Smith plays as a Jet, and then he does amazing as a Seattle Seahawks. Are you telling me? Could it be the organization that's bad? What?
Jets, Panthers, Browns. There's 3 organizations that just aren't successful.
I'm gonna laugh if Zach Wilson becomes an elite quarterback after this. I will honestly laugh at that, and then I'll be like, I guess it's Zach Wilson's fault. But anyway, I'm gonna get
maybe he'll replace Dak.
How dare you?
What team does Zach Wilson play for, real quick?
Oh God, that is a good question. Who does Zach Wilson back up for?
Is it the Broncos?
I think so.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
But anyway,
I know there might be like 2 new, because there's Bo Nix rookie, and Zach Wilson might be the backup as a second year. Yeah.
I think honestly, I am gonna go with the 8 for the Vikings, because I don't know. I don't feel like they're guaranteed to win that Super Bowl. I feel like it's still like a coin flip.
You're not guaranteed to win a Super Bowl. We're still in the middle of the season. No way.
Guaranteed to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
And also, I just want to let you know his current team is the Denver Broncos as of right now.
Yeah. All right. I was correct. Nice. Perfect.
Yes. So, Christopher, what is your thoughts about the greatest team right now in the NFC?
Vikings had last week as an 8. I'm not going to stray away from that. They didn't lose. They won, but there's a couple other good teams from the NFC that could still knock them out. But yeah, the Vikings, the way they're playing, they could definitely be making it to the NFC Championship game. So yeah, keep them at an 8 for me.
Ooh, we got an 8. And then Douglas right over here. Last week, you gave them a 7. Are you going to change your score right now, Douglas? I'm just saying.
Ooh. Yep, I'll bump them to an 8. I think, for me personally, I think them and the Lions are the 2 clear best teams in the league right now. Or not in the league, in the NFC.
Can you imagine a world when Sam Darnold makes it to a Super Bowl? You would have never thought of that. Never.
Oh, geez, boys. I don't know if you guys are into the MLB playoffs, but San Diego is currently up 6-1 in the second inning.
Oh, no kidding, man.
Let's go.
They're rolling the Dodgers.
The Dodgers had a 1-0 lead, and wow, so you're saying 6-1? Woo!
Yeah, Tatis just hit a 2-run homer.
All right.
All right, Padres are on a roll.
Not by itself. San Diego's a way better city than LA. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, we got the Baltimore Ravens beating the Cincinnati Bengals. So let's start with the Bengals right now, who are now the second team right there. That's now 1-4, lost another game in overtime again because the defense can't do anything to stop them. Literally, Joe Burrow is literally carrying this team, and he still can't do anything in this defense. So, gentlemen, they're 1-4 right now. What do you think about the Cincinnati Bengals? We will start with you, Christopher, on your favorite rival, the Bengals.
If the Bengals played any other team this past week, they would have beat them. Let me see if I'm correct real quick. They put up 38 points. The only other team that was closest was the Falcons, who scored 36. Joe Burrow, 5 touchdowns passing, nearly 400 yards. Last week, we all had him at a 3. Yeah, we all had him at a 3. When a quarterback plays like that, you go to overtime, and you had Jamar Chase with 2 touchdowns, 2 huge touchdowns, one for 65 yards, one for 40. The team wasn't playing bad. The offensive part of the team wasn't playing bad.
There's one part that was playing bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's why I said the offensive team was not playing bad. Pretty much the defensive team. The team was looking good, but with a loss, you can't go up. Yeah, you can certainly go down, but I'm gonna keep them at a 3 because they're 1-4. 1-4, and right now actually below the Browns in the standings. So, I'm at a 3.
My God! All right, Douglas, you get to go up next. What's your thoughts about these Bengals being bungling?
I mean, I called this one from the beginning. I'm with Chris. I'll keep them at a 3. It was about as good of a loss as you can have, but there's no moral victories. But I have a feeling we're going to be talking about them when we're buying our stocks here.
I don't know. This might
be a good one to invest in.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me because it's like they're 1-4, which is really bad. Like they're in the really bottom. Like I know they barely beat the Ravens. They barely lost to them, but they're 1-4. And I feel like I have to put a course punishment right now. I'm sorry, Bengals fans. I'm sorry, Douglas and Chris. I got to give them the 2. They're in 1-4 territory. I think, how are they going to bounce back and get to like the postseason? And you got to win games. I'm sorry. Even if it was close games, I view it the same way. No matter if you're like losing by 1 or you're getting blown out by a lot and you're 1-4, you're in a 1-4 record right now and you're not in a good spot. I feel like you're in the Chargers territory last year where you're just like, you barely lost games, but it's the records that count, and that's not good.
Well, thankfully for our system here, the median is still a 3.
All right. We still got a 3 right there. And now we're going back to the Ravens, who won in overtime. Lamar Jackson played amazing. I still love that 1 touchdown. We almost got sacked, messed the ball, almost got sacked, and threw it for a touchdown. That was pretty dope. That's why Lamar Jackson got paid the big bucks. So we'll start with you, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Ravens now 3-2 after going 0-2 and now 3-2?
I'm gonna bump them to an 8 personally.
What?
I've been high on this team for a while, and Lamar's looking like an MVP. Like I think I just have a lot of faith in this team. Like I've said from the beginning, I think they're one of the 2 best teams, and all they're doing is looking better and better each week. They destroyed the Bills. They just won in a crazy fashion. Derrick Henry's looking like back to old form. Like, even if their defense isn't as good as it usually is, their offense is just awesome right now. So I'm going to bump them to an 8.
What? Let's go.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. Went from the 6 to the 8, Douglas. Now, like I said, last week I gave them the 4, which is crazy. I don't know why I was so down on the Ravens. Maybe because it's just like,
I think we called you out for being biased with the Cowboys there somehow.
How dare you? How dare you? And plus, they didn't lose to the Cowboys. But I think I'm going to bump them up. I think they're in the 3-2. They're still in the good spot, but I think I'll bump them up to the 6 for right now. We'll see how they go if they can beat some other teams. But I think for right now, I'm going to bump up that stock. And let's raise it up right now to the 6. So, Fyodor, you're up next. And I will say this. How do you feel about your favorite football team of all time, the Baltimore Ravens?
Hey, I mean, it is what it is. They're hot. They're the second hottest team in the AFC, if you include the Chiefs winning 5 straight games. Yeah, the Ravens have won 5. I'm sorry, the Ravens have won 3 straight games. Like Doug said, they're in good form offensively. Reigning MVP Lamar Jackson, he's doing work. Derrick Henry, he might be up there in age for a running back, but he's finding his groove. Last week I gave him a 6, 8 going to the AFC Championship. Ooh, man, but yeah, the way they're playing, it's hard not to give them an 8. But we'll go 7 because there's no way the way they're currently playing that they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. So definitely from a 6 to a 7.
Look at that. We bumped them up. The stock value of a Raven has soared up.
So median value 7.
7.
We got the 7s right now. And now we got to talk about another great game. The Indianapolis Colts losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Unfortunately, we do not have an 0-17 season team this year. I'm so disappointed. I wanted to happen. Unfortunately, Joe Flacco could not bring his magic to beat the Jaguars for some reason. Unfortunately, his magic can go against the Steelers, but unfortunately, the pumpkin went midnight, and unfortunately, Joe Flacco went back to be a pumpkin. So we're going to start with the Colts. I guess I will go first right now. Last week, I gave the Colts the 5. You did lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know it's close, but it's the Jaguars who are really, really bad. I think I might have to bump them down to the 4.
Ooh.
I think, honestly, I just don't feel as confident right now. I don't think this team's going to make the postseason. I'm just not feeling good. And you lost to a Jaguars team who looks really like a dumpster fire right now. I know it's close, but you should be blowing out this team. I honestly do feel like you should be blowing out this team right now, in my opinion. All right, Fyodor, you get to go up next. You decided to give them a 6.
Yeah, I agree with your statements, Stu. They should be blowing out the Jaguars. I mean, heck, even though Cleveland Browns beat the Jaguars. I'm still wacko for Flacco, but currently where they're playing, they would miss the playoffs, even though I believe they're second in their division, that wacky division they are in. Yeah, they're 2-3. Well, actually, they're going to finish second in their division because they have the Titans and the Jaguars, unless those two teams start heating up. Then you have the Texans more than likely going to win that division. Yeah, where they're currently playing that, you can't make the playoffs being 2-3. So from a 6 to a 5.
Also, I just want to let you know, as a Browns fan, do you miss Flacco yet? Do you miss him yet?
I miss Mayfield. I miss Flacco. I might even say I miss Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel.
Oh God, no!
Bring him back. Get rid of Watson. Bring back Johnny Football.
You miss him. You missed Deshaun Kaiser.
Let's not go too far.
Oh God.
Oh man. What did I give this team last week?
You gave them, I believe you gave them the 5.
Yeah, you gave them 5.
Perfect. So I feel perfectly valid to give them a 4.
Yeah. Okay, why do you want to give them the 4, Douglas?
I just tell them confidence, Like Anthony Richardson, like they lost with Flacco to not a good team. Anthony Richardson's turnover prone, so if he comes back, I don't think this team necessarily gets better at this moment from Joey Flacco. I mean, granted, Jonathan Taylor was out, so like maybe that contributed in some way, but like you got to beat the Jaguars. You just got to.
You got to, and unfortunately, the Colts Colt revolved themselves out of oblivion.
Yeah.
And now we got to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, where everybody but Douglas decided to not give them ones. I gave them the 2 last week. I mean the 1. You did win a game. So, but are you the worst team in the NFL right now? You're 1-4 right now. But it's against a Colts team who I feel like is mid.
Did you guys just watch the Patriots lose to the Dolphins?
Yeah. It is the battle. It is the battle of who's awful, god awful right now. And honestly, they're technically second worst in the AFC. I'll give them a 2 just because you won a game, but I'm not impressed with this Jaguars team. I am not impressed. Honestly, I feel like Douglas Peterson is about to get terminated, I think, at the end of this year. And it's honestly worse when literally there was stuff where the owner said this is the best Jaguars team he's ever had as an owner. You kidding me?
Well, so I saw something, and the only reason I like to give them some hope too, is they did like a split screen of before Trevor Lawrence hurt his ankle, and they were 8-1, really good, and then he rolled his ankle. I forgot, maybe high ankle sprain or something, and then they were 1-7 since. But they're thinking that maybe he is finally going to get healthy again and maybe get on a roll. I don't know. Maybe it's just one game. Did I give him a 2 last week?
Yes, you did.
I'll keep him at a 2. They're still
in there. And now, Theodore, you are up next.
Question for you guys. Do you think the number 1 overall pick for the 2025 NFL draft is going to come from the AFC or the NFC?
AFC.
AFC, yeah.
Gotcha. In that case, I had the Jaguars at a 1 last week. Yeah, they won. But, man, I mean, Tank Bigsby, great runner. But also last year and the last 2 years, they've had Travis Etienne, great runner. So they didn't even make up their mind who they're going to use on a consistent basis. Man, I would say Jacksonville. Keep them at a 1 for me.
Wow! Even for the win, your season is done. Man, this is
wow. And for some additional drama, the Dodgers just had a grand slam.
So it's 6-5?
Yeah, 6-5. Wow.
Boo. Anyway, next we got to talk about the greatest game of all time. The Miami Dolphins beating the New England Patriots 15-10. The greatest football game on the 2 most powerful teams right now. If this was in 2018, my God, this is awful. And I guess we got to talk about the news that apparently the captain of the Patriots is now charged with domestic battery and drug possession right now.
Jabril. We remember Jabril Rouse, still.
Jabril Peppers. Yeah, he's he got drafted by the Browns from the University of Michigan.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we're going to, like Urinating Tree has a joke, it is going to be time for Jabril Peppers to play the game of Wheel of Discipline. We'll see how many games will Jabril Peppers get suspended for. So we'll start with you, Douglas, since you're a huge Jabril Peppers fan.
a huge Jabril Peppers.
Yes, so I got a fat head on my wall right now.
Got a life-size bobblehead of him.
Yeah. I just have him running that 1 touchdown back against Michigan State. Wow. That's beautiful.
Yes. Anyway.
I don't support what he did. That's the first statement. Statement number 2. Heck yeah, man. They're finally going to Drake May. How exciting. About time. Just throw the dude out there. You can't do worse than Jacoby Brissett is doing out there. The dude didn't get to 100 yards passing until the 4th quarter this last game. They did nothing. You lost to a team that is just horrendous without Tua. They don't really even have a quarterback. They're just hoping that, what Tyler Huntley did with the Ravens would translate, and it hasn't. But they still somehow lost. I don't think did the Dolphins score a touchdown? Or did they just kick field goals?
I believe
it was a touchdown in the final quarter. It was Alec Ingold for a 3-yard touchdown rush.
Wow.
Other than that, it was all field goals.
Yeah, I think this team's got to be the one for me.
Yeah.
I hope Drake May does something for you, but like, man, oh man,
Oh my
this
god.
is the team we thought we'd see all year, and they're showing up.
Oh my god. I feel like we had some optimism after they won a one game against the Bengals. And now I think I realized I got to give them the colossal. Let's do it. They get the numero uno 1 right there. This team is garbage. This team, I know they're the third worst in the AFC. This should be number 1 just because how bad they are. I don't care they lost to the Bengals. They beat the Bengals. This team just looks like it's trash. Like, honestly.
Wait, did they lose or did they beat the Bengals?
They beat the Bengals, and that was it. They only had one win, and they haven't won a game since.
Gotcha.
So, honestly, we got to get them down to that 1 right now. 1 for the Patriots.
And I gave the Patriots a 1 last week. I certainly can't move them up since they lost. So those are going to be my 2 bottom teams of this week, the Jaguars and the Patriots. Because, Patriots don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Well, they do because they're starting a new quarterback. But even those quarterbacks aren't looking too successful at the moment.
All right. We should do a bet, gentlemen. Will the Patriots be the first team we're going to do our eulogy?
Ooh, that's a good wager, Stu.
Yes, we should do the wager right now.
I'll make a note so we can do that on the wager wheel.
The wager wheel. Who will give our first eulogy?
First eulogy. Maybe each week we can do like a percentage chance too.
I have to give it to the Patriots.
All right.
I'm going with the Patriots right now.
There you go. Maybe we all pick a team. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes.
So like $5, whoever picks the team that is the first eulogy. Ooh. And that means eliminated from the playoffs.
Yes.
Officially get that little E next to their name on ESPN. Who's the first team with 0% chance of making the postseason?
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. And now we got to talk about the Dolphins, Dolphins themselves finally to a win. I think, Douglas, we still need to have a correction on the Dolphins. I think we need to change the D to the L right now because they're still the Wolfins.
Yeah.
I just had to do it. I had to do it every time. Every time when I think of the Dolphins, they are the Wolves. Like this game, they looked bad. Even if they won it, you beat the Patriots by 5. I know that they're at 2. So last week we decided to give, let's see. Last week I gave the Dolphins a 2. They have 2 wins, right? I'm just like not. They're 2-5. I guess I'll give them to the 3. You know what? But it's just like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the season's done. Tua, you should not come back and play this game. I honestly do not think Tua. I think he should, if he wants to come back, wait till next year, in my opinion. There's no point. So, Fyodor, you're up next.
Yeah, last week I gave him a 3. I'm not sure what they're doing running back wise. I mean, they have Devon Achane, who's one of the best running backs in the league, and they only gave him 3 carries on Sunday. So
I think
I'm thinking about fantasy wise.
Well, I think he got hurt.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Well, if he got hurt, then that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully he's not out too long.
Yeah, I think I was playing him in fantasy, and that's part of the reason I won is like people kept getting hurt.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he did get injured because I was in another league. I was playing against the guy who had him. I was like, oh, that's good. But then the guy also had. It doesn't matter. It kind of evened out. So yeah, you're right. He did get injured. Man, I'm not sure how long he's out for. Dolphins gave him a 3 last week. Yeah, they slimly won. But yeah, Stuart, like you said, the Dolphins. They're not moving away from a 3. I'm gonna keep them right there because they have Tyreek Hill, one of the best wide receivers, but they're out with their quarterback, who's going to be out.
I'll keep it quick.
8 or 9.
I'll keep it quick. They're still a 3 for me. Like I still think that if for some reason Tua decided to come back, there's still a team that could maybe make a run at something because they're so talented. It's crazy. Like you kind of see how solid Tua was because he made whatever this is right now into one of the best offenses in the league. So hopefully he can get healthy and, make the right choice for himself.
I mean, they went from like the best to the worst. It's like the best of the worst now.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. You're sitting out there watching Tyreek Hill just like be continuously frustrated.
Yeah, they literally went from the Ritz-Carlton right now to the Motel 6. Like this is how I feel. Like this is how I feel about this team right now. And
it's
now,
insane. They have too much speed. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, speaking of dumpster fire of going back to the factory of sadness, Brownies decided to get absolutely curb stomped right now against the Washington Commanders. 13-34 was a blowout game right now. Deshaun Watson played absolutely amazing, right, Theodore?
Dude didn't even have over 150 throwing yards. What a piece of crap.
Dude, I get so frustrated in fantasy football because they'll throw the ball to Amari Cooper about 14 times a game.
But he'll drop 10 of them.
What?
But then he'll drop 10 of them.
Exactly. He'll catch like 3 out of like 10. Like, I just sit there, I'm like, oh man, like he must not be getting the ball thrown to him. Like, oh no, he has 9 targets and 1 reception. Unreal.
So Theodore, you get to start first. What is your thoughts on the greatest organization and your favorite owners, the Haslams, about the Brownies?
Actually, the Haslams, they're not bad owners. I mean, they own the Columbus Crew, and they won the cup last year for the MLS. So they're good. They're good soccer owners. But when it comes to football, they don't know what they're doing.
But
yeah, I just said but as football owners, they don't know what they're doing.
They gave $250 million to Deshaun Watson. Just saying.
So yeah, Browns last week I had them at a 3. They're easily going down to a 2 this week. I don't know what the heck they're doing. Well, I know what they're doing. They're losing, but so it was 17-3 in the second quarter, and my friends and I, we watch the game every week. We thought we had a little bit of chance when it was 17-3. We're like, okay, only down 2 touchdowns, we can come back. But once it was 24-3 at halftime, we're like, no, we turn it off, so put on a red zone, watch some smaller games. But man, like Watson was 15-28 for 128 yards, 1 touchdown, not till the fourth quarter to a backup tight end. And Njoku, he's back. Our starting tight end, David Njoku's back. We threw it to Jordan Aiken. And yeah, like Doug said, it's not all Watson's fault. You have Cooper not being able to catch balls. Our offensive line is terrible. Put it frankly. But yeah, Watson, he says every week, he's like, it's on me. I need to do better. Then why aren't you doing better, man? Like, why are you not doing better? And then our coach Stefanski goes, like, probably 15 minutes within 15 minutes after the game was over, he goes, yeah, there's gonna be no quarterback changes. Okay, well, if we're not changing the quarterback, we should change the head coach because you are absolutely terrible if you're going to continue to start Deshaun Watson at the helm of our offense, at the quarterback position. So it's just a mess in Cleveland. I might tear this flag down over here. I might burn it during our one of our podcasts because it's a disgrace being a Cleveland Browns fan. But my blood still runs brown and orange because I love the Browns. I always will. But this season is over. 3-2. Bye, Browns.
I mean, that's a perfect name for an organization, the Cleveland Browns. They're the Brown. They're going Browning.
Yeah, when I wake up in the morning and take a shit, it's the same color as my poop.
I'm sorry. You don't laugh at that. Oh my god.
Hopefully that's okay for YouTube. I hope they don't take this video down.
You demonetized it. How dare you? We're getting ad
We're gonna
block.
click it's not for children. It's okay.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, I was gonna click it for children right now. Just so. Anyway, Douglas, what is your thoughts about the Cleveland Browns browning themselves?
Oh man, I don't got much nice to say. Like they're not good on defense, which I thought they'd be having an elite defense still. Like not sure what happened there. Like man, oh man, dude, is Jaden Daniels that good? Are the Browns that bad? Like what was that? What they give up 40? Did they give up? What they give up 40 something?
34-13 was the final.
Oh, only 34. All right.
But
Deshaun and Amari Cooper need to figure this out fast. I'm hoping that Nick Chubb comes back here soon, maybe that'll do something. I don't know what it would do, but behind that offensive line, who really knows what he'll do coming off of a huge knee injury? But one's gonna hope.
One hopes, and
I'll give him a 2. Like I think their season's pretty toast at this point. Like Deshaun's clearly not getting better. He doesn't seem like super bought in either. He's just kind of like out there. Like I don't know. I don't feel like emotion or like pride coming from him. It feels like I don't know.
All right, this is gonna be a tough one because I really am contemplating. Last week I gave him the 2. Do I give the 1 to either the Browns or the Carolina Panthers? Both looks bad. I need to give one of these the 1. And I just got to think about that. Like Cleveland. Are who is going to get that eulogy early? They both look. The Browns look really awful. They have not had any close games, and you beat a really terrible Jaguars. The Panthers, they did win a game. It was against the Bengals that looked really bad. Oh my God, they both look bad. Just because I like the Red Rifle, I'm giving them the 1. 1 for the Browns. I think their season's done. I think they're getting that number 2 overall pick.
Whoa,
Have fun to
right.
have Shador Sanders as a Browns. Just saying. You gotta deal with all of that. Just saying.
I mean, their current market value, the way they are playing, they might as well be a 1. And plus, they play the Eagles coming up, so that's gonna be glorious.
Glorious disaster, that is.
Exactly.
Now, this is a weird thing. The Commanders are looking good. They're the second team in the AFC and the NFC who's 4-1. Granted, a lot of these teams have been crummy, and now they're gonna. So I guess we'll start with you, Douglas. What's your thoughts with the Commanders?
Oh man, I'm bought in, bro. I'm bought into Jaden Daniels. I truly think that they're the team to beat in the NFC East. Like I don't know. Like they're sitting there 4-1. They're not just winning either. They're dominating. Like Jaden Daniels is firing in all cylinders constantly. Like they're putting up 35, 40 points a game, like consistently. And their defense has been pretty solid too. Like I think they're pretty close for me with the Lions and the Vikings, but I'll give them a 7.
Oh, okay.
They're good, man. Like Jaden Daniels, he deserves to be in the MVP conversation for sure.
All right. So like I said, last week we all gave him 6s. You did beat the Brownies really badly. You did curd stomp the Brownies really badly. But I feel like my only complaint about the Commanders is just how their schedule is. They haven't beat anybody that's significantly good as of right now. Like, yes, they did lose to the Buccaneers by 17, but they beat the Giants by 3. They beat the Bengals by 5. They beat they did defeat the Cardinals, and they did do good against the Cardinals and the Commanders. They did beat those. They did curb stomp those 2 teams. But I feel like I still need them to test out. Can they beat the good teams?
So you're saying their first real test is next week away in Baltimore.
And
that's going to be a fun one. Wow.
And I feel like for me, if they can beat Baltimore, I'll give them up to the 7. For right now, I still got to give them the 6 because, like I said, they're still beating crummy teams.
Man, good thing for them, the Cowboys are crummy, eh?
How dare you? You know what? Screw it. I'm giving the Cowboys a 10.
Dude, that could be one of our bets of the week. We got Lions Cowboys this week. We could be another wager of the week.
I'm putting America's team's about to do it. Anyway, Fyodor, you get to talk about your favorite team, the Commanders, against them.
Like every team is my favorite team. You always keep saying that, but hey, I'm okay with that. Yeah, Jane Daniels, he's going to be more than likely going to be the rookie of the year. That could be my bet of the season if we have that going. Rookie of the year winner, Mr. Jaden Daniels from the LSU Tigers. From a 6 to a 7, easy. And yeah, we all had him at a 6 last week, right? I know I am at a 6. Because I have the Lions and the Vikings, both at 8s, making it to the NFC Championship game. Besides that, I don't have any other 7s in the NFC, and I can see the Commanders. Just the way they're playing. Jane Daniels, he's moving the ball around. It's not all him. He had one throwing touchdown. They also have Brian Robinson, who's doing work. Austin Eckler was back, and he ran for, I think it was a 60-yard run. So yeah, they have good offensive weapons. So yeah, they're looking good to win a game in the first round of the playoffs as a 7.
Nice.
All right, look at that. And now we got to talk about the Buffalo Bills losing in a close pincher against the Texans, 23-20.
Dude, that was horrendous clock management. Oh my golly. They couldn't have ended that game worse. Like, what are you doing? Like, go to overtime, throw the ball once. What was that? I don't know. I'm so disappointed in the coaching decisions on that one. Like, man, oh man, you had some momentum. All you had to do is go to overtime, win a coin toss, but instead you basically gave them a layup to win it.
Yep, unfortunately.
So what kind of happened at the end there? Because, Doug, this is all – maybe I wasn't paying attention to the game or wasn't watching that one, but what happened?
So it was 20-20.
Yeah.
They had the ball at their own 3. About 50 seconds left or so. Ravens still had timeouts. I think they might have had 1 or 2. Or not the Ravens.
Yeah, the Texans.
The Texans.
Yeah.
So they decided to throw the ball 3 straight times, run about 7 seconds of game clock, and then punt it to about the 45-yard line.
Oh, and Texans were able to get in field goal territory and kick the game winner.
Yeah, it was like all they do is just quick little chip shot. Well, I mean, it wasn't a chip shot. It was like a 50-yarder, but, in today's NFL, that's basically automatic for most of these dudes. And
I mean, that's not a gimme, but still.
Yeah. But it was disappointing, though, that's for sure.
Now, I guess we'll start with you, Douglas. What do we give the Buffalo Bills right now? They're 3-2 right now. We did give them, I think last time
last week, Stuart, you gave them a 6. Doug and I both gave them a 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop them down to a 6. I still think they'll make the playoffs. This week they play against the Jets, right? That's going to be a big one. That's a huge game for the AFC East title there. But I don't know. I don't know if I can see them really beating any of the good teams just with current market value. Like, you lost to the Texans, who I already thought were better than you. And you got the Chiefs, the Ravens. Like, I don't see them beating any of those teams. So I don't know who they would beat. So 6.
Oh my goodness. So last week I gave the Bills the 6. They are 3-2. So I'll give them credit for that one. And I feel like for right now, Douglas, I give the same as to you. The 6 right now. I don't know. I just feel like that they're still in that. They still can probably make the postseason, but can they make it far in the postseason? I don't feel confident right now.
All right.
Stuart, great question. You said, can they make it far in the postseason? The way Josh Allen has been playing these last 2 or 3 games, if he's playing like that in the playoffs, they're not going to make it far.
No.
Last week I gave them a 7. They're still top of their division. What was that division? Sorry, guys. The AFC East. Yeah, still top. And, I mean, you got the Jets, who aren't doing too well. The Dolphins, obviously, we know what's going on over there. And then you got the Patriots, who we all voted as a 1, or the median as a 1. So they should be able to easily win the AFC East. It's whether they're going to be able to get over that first hump of the first round. So yeah, from a 7 for me to a 6 for me.
Look at that. We got 666s. The mark of the beast of the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia.
666, never too good.
They're too good. And now the Texans, who still in their chin, still in the close game, are now 4-1. Look at that. Who would have thunk it? If I would have told you 2 years ago that they would be 4-1, and CJ Stroud is just being legit right now. But we'll start right now. Last week, we'll start with you, Christopher. Last week
I gave them an 8 last week. And obviously, I can't digress when they won a game. So I'm going to keep it as an 8. Yeah, they're playing ball. I mean, it was a home game, but it was still a tough game against the Bills. They won it. Yeah, even though it was terrible clock management, according to Doug. Yeah, C.J. Stroud balling out. Wasn't C.J. Stroud the rookie of the year last year?
Yes, he was.
All right. I mean, obviously you can't win it twice in a row, but he can still be a great quarterback another year. So yeah, put him at an 8.
What did I give him last week?
You and Stu both gave him a 7.
Perfect, because I think that they're the third best team in the AFC.
Ooh,
So that's wonderful.
Yes, and I feel the exact same way. I feel like I'm going to give them the 7. I feel like that this team looks legit, but I don't know. Can they beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Can they
beat the Ravens? Exactly.
Can they beat the Ravens? Can they go into that post and get to that hump, or are they only going to be like the one playoff win and then they're done, like last season? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that's how I kind of feel like C.J. Stroud looks good. They're looking great. Stephon Diggs is looking amazing, but I don't know.
All right.
Oh, and also I forgot another wheel of discipline right now, gentlemen. How do you feel about Von Miller having a 4-game suspension because of last week because of domestic dispute?
What team does he play for? He plays for the
Buffalo Bills.
Oh. Domestic dispute? Yeah, if it's domestic against his own significant other, yeah, suspend him.
Even though this happened a year ago. Just saying.
Oh, it happened a year? Oh, geez. How casual I am. Oh, man. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I deny him hear about that, Stu. That's how casual I am.
That's how casual you are. You don't know about the wheel of discipline. Yeah. My God, it's the greatest discipline because we never know. You might get a game suspension. You might be out for your entire career, but whoever knows. And speaking of teams that are out, the Carolina Panthers lost to the Bears 10-36. Unfortunately, the Andy Dalton revenge tour went 0-2 right now, actually, unfortunately. And I guess I got to go first. All right, I'll be nice. I'll give them the 2 just because I think they're better than the Browns. I mean, the Carolina Panthers are trash. They're not looking good. I don't feel confident in this team, but they look very trashy, but I don't think they're the elite trash. But maybe because I like Andy Dalton, that's the only reason why I'm giving him a 2.
I mean, yeah, we all had him at a 2 last week, and I already gave 2 other teams the 1. Plus, I asked you guys what we think the number 1 pick is going to go towards the AFC, the NFC, and we all said the AFC. So yeah, Panthers, yeah, they lost, but actually they got murdered. I don't know about lost. They got whomped on. Bears. Yeah, keep them at a 2.
Oh, well, let me click. All right. I'm gonna give them a 1. They just got destroyed by the Bears. Like this team, they had one fluky win. I don't agree with Stewart's take that they are better than the Browns. I would pick the Browns in the game versus the Panthers.
Yeah.
It's like do you want the turd burglar or the crap sandwich? It's like this is how I feel on these both teams. They both look like they're going to get eliminated soon, so it's not really saying much. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's like arguing about like, no, this team sucks. No, Douglas, this team sucks. We should just realize they both suck.
Yeah.
Yes. And now we're going to talk about teams that look like they're not sucking. Caleb Williams actually looked good. They looked really decent. They were dominant. So I think we all basically last week, we decided to give the greatest team of right now, your favorite team, Mr. Douglas. I don't know who's your favorite. I mean, the Chicago Bears or the Minnesota Vikings right now. We both gave them. So basically, I gave them the 4 last week. I mean, it's against a team that's not really that great. First of all, they're 3-2, but then you know what? They are 3-2. I'll give them credit for that. They were dominant. I'll give them the 5 just because you know what? You did beat 20 against the Panthers, even though it's not that great. I'm not really like impressed. I'm not really like disappointed. It's kind of like I think you're supposed to beat this team by like 20 points. So Anyway, it's time for you, Fyodor. What is your thoughts about the Chicago Bears?
Last week I gave him a 5, and man, NFC North, definitely the toughest division in football. I mean, I'm sure we've mentioned that prior, but man, as a team that's 3-2, they're in last place. Early in the season, probably like 2 weeks ago, I said Caleb Williams was a bust, and we'll see how that goes because I might be taking those words back because he had a great game, and now they're 3-2. He had almost 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Oh man, but yeah, last place in the best division. Oh man, it's unfortunate that they're in the best division. 5 last week. They're playing like a 6, but you can't really have 4 teams from. Well, you could, but that'd be a long shot. Yeah, I'd say pull them up at a 6 because they're playing pretty good ball as of recent. Yeah.
You make a compelling case, Chris, but I think just because of what you said, they play in such a hard division. Like, I don't think the 3-2 is sustainable. Like, you beat a bad team. So I still don't think you're quite a playoff team, but I'm mildly regretting not taking Alex's trade right now for DJ Moore, man. He had a nice game, starting to build a relationship there with Mr. Williams. I think he had 2 tutties. He had a nice game.
Who would you have to have given up in that trade for DJ Moore?
He wanted AJ Brown, so I want to.
Oh yeah, that's trash. In
all fairness, AJ Brown's coming back this week against a crappy Browns defense, so it looks like you're all set, Doug.
Heck yeah! Hopefully, I can beat Alex now.
You're playing this week, nice.
Anyway, we got next the greatest team, the Raiders, playing against Broncos Country. Let's ride. And Broncos Country said, "We're going to ride Vegas out of Denver right now, beating them 34-18. So we're going to start with you, Christopher. What is your thoughts about the Raiders?
Can I throw something out there? I have a possible wager. Who's the next head coach to get fired this season? Is there another in-season coach firing? So I don't know, man. I think the guy here, I can't think of his name, but I think this coach for the Raiders, man, he might be on the hot seat.
I mean, he was. I mean, there's one point where the Raiders had a 70 and 80% odds of winning this game, and they lost. They were up 10-3.
Mm-hmm. And they were driving, and then I think there was a pick 6. Changed the entire game. They're about to go up 17-3, and instead went tied 10-10, and then they just did nothing the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, the 100-yard interception return. Actually, they had an 80% chance of winning. The Raiders did. Oh man, because they were driving, and then that pick 6. Oh man,
is it Antonio Pierce? Is that his name?
Yeah.
It was. Oh, is that the head coach?
Yeah.
That was Pat Surtain. Pat
Surtain got the interception. Yeah. But I don't know, man.
Doug asked who's the next head coach to be fired during the season. And Doug, you said the Raiders head coach.
Stefanski might be on that list too.
I would love for it to be Stefanski, but there's something going on behind closed doors with Jim Haslam and Stefanski that he's not going to get fired. I don't know what's going on, but if I had to put a finger to it, it'd probably be the Panthers head coach.
Even after 1 year, are they going to be that much impatient that they're going to fire their next head coach already?
So should this be a wager as well?
Yeah.
Are we putting actual money down for this, or we're just?
I think we should all put $5 for each bet personally.
All right, $5 or a beer, and I'm going to say also, gentlemen.
In this economy, $5 a beer is more than $5, so it'd be cheaper to go $5.
All right. Hey, you can't. Yay! I got the discount $3 beers, but I'm just saying. But that is a good question. Who is going to be?
Wait, so Doug, are we officially saying who we think is going to be fired as a head coach?
We're gonna do that at the end. We'll do that at our wagers of the week.
Oh, gotcha. I got to do.
We'll pick a head coach. We'll all pick a team for the eulogy, and then me and Stu will decide if we want to do a bet on the Cowboys Lions this week.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, last week, what did we give the Raiders? I totally forgot about that. What did we give?
Stu, you and Doug gave him a 3. I gave him a 4.
Oh,
So that gives me some leeway to go down for sure. I mean, it gives everyone leeway for them to go down.
all right. You get to go first. What is your thoughts about the Raiders just blowing this game?
Oh yeah, so like I said, they go from a 4. I mean, they were riding high because they had the home win against the Browns the previous week 4. That was also a home game. Yeah, Bo Nix, he's looking pretty good as a rookie quarterback for the Broncos. I saw is it Zamir White? He's the running back for the Raiders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw today that the three backup running backs, they all have touchdowns, and Zamir White, the starting running back, has 0 touchdowns on the season. So Raiders from a 4 to a 3 easily.
All right. I'll keep it quick. I'll give him a 2.
Ooh!
I think this team's cooked.
Ooh, wow.
I just they can't decide who their quarterback is. Devontae Adams probably halfway out the door. Like Brock Bowers is a fun story. That's about it.
Is Devontae Adams injured, or is he just not playing because he wants to be traded, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. Like he was injured, and then I don't know. Now they're deciding if they want to trade him, but I guess the market's cooling down.
Plus, the Raiders have one of the best defensive linemen or defensive ends, Max Crosby. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting if they kind of do a mini rebuild. Get some picks for Max Crosby, get something for Devontae Adams, and restart. Maybe fire their coach.
I mean, this is the same team that fired their coach last year, the midway through the season. Are they going to keep the tradition going and fire?
I think that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. Oh,
I think this is. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that was 2 seasons ago. And this guy got the job last year, and this is his second year.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because, like I said, I remember the Raider tradition where they basically fire their head coach because John Gruden was the head coach. Then this guy got the team all the way up to the postseason. Then they didn't renew that guy's contract, and then So Raiders are going to get the 2 in my opinion. This team does not look good. They're probably the worst 2 and 3 team in the NFL in my opinion. I just don't feel impressed. I think they've gotten worse now compared to last season, and that's not really saying much because last season they looked bad. So Raider Nation is about to go. Unfortunately, they got raided.
Nice. The median is a 2 for the Las Vegas Raiders.
My God. How's it feel as a Browns fan? You lost to that pathetic of a team.
Oh, man, it feels terrible, especially since I was at that game. Money well spent.
Hopefully that game was cheap. I'm just saying.
Me and Jake and Keller
not cheap for Vegas.
We're going to the Tigers game on Thursday, man, and I'm going to be so bummed if they lose. It'll suck so much to pay good money to go to a playoff baseball game just for them to get demolished.
Oh my God!
I hope they lose.
Hey! As
Guardians or go Indians.
Let's go! I want a blowout. I want it to be like you lose. You give up 8 runs in the first inning, and then it's over.
You know what I want it to be, Stu? I want it to be the exact same game that happened last night.
Go
0-0. This time the Tigers hit a walk-off grand slam.
No. The away team wins again. I would love that. Thank you, Doug.
No.
I want the away team to do it.
And then me, Jake, and Cal are going to watch them go to the ALDS on Thursday.
Dang.
We'll have the time of our lives.
Yes, time of our lives right now. And speaking of times of our lives, Broncos decided to go 3-2. What?
3 straight, baby. Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is actually good. What? Scoring 2 TDs? Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna start with you, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Denver Broncos actually being decent?
What did I give them last week?
Give him a 6. You and I gave him a 6. Stuart gave him a 5.
Did we really? Wow. That was
we're really riding high on those Denver Broncos. Mile high.
For some reason in my head, I was thinking we gave them a 6, but good for them. I think me and you argued too, Chris, that they had beaten 2 good teams in a row. And then they just won very handily here against the Raiders. And so, like, they're still a solid playoff team, man. Like, you can't argue with it. I think they'd be in the playoffs if it ended today. Like, they've beaten some good teams. They're a playoff caliber team at this moment.
Yeah, and I feel like they're definitely in the playoff contender. And look at that. Bo Nix looks like he is doing good. It's so funny because I think we picked Bo Nix to be a bust, and he's actually been decent for the Broncos. Like, honestly, this is why Sean McDermott, sorry, the head coach of the Broncos, Sean McVay, right? Did I say it right?
No, McVay, he's the coach of the Rams, right?
No, Sean McDermott. Who is the?
That's the Bills, bro.
Sean Payton?
Yeah.
No, thank God. I was like,
it was a Sean. You got it right.
I knew it was a Sean, but there was a
better be a Sean than a Deshaun.
Yeah. Yes, because you love Deshaun, especially when it's with Hodson.
That was a good one.
All right. So I feel like the Denver Broncos, you know what? They're 3-2. They're looking good. I'll give them the 6 for right now. I mean, granted, I don't know if they can do far in the postseason, but we'll see how it goes. And now, Theodore, you're up next.
Yeah, last week I had them at 6. They're still going to be a 6 because, right now they'd be making the playoffs. But, man, I don't know. Jaden Daniels, he's a good rookie quarterback, and I can see him excelling in the playoffs. But Bo Nix, he's a rookie that I just don't see making it past the first round. But they've won 3 in a row, so heck yeah. But they can they'll make the playoffs at the moment, but not too far.
Whoa! I'm putting the wrong team here, Stu. What is this? Why are we disrespecting the Cardinals?
Oh yeah, we got to talk about the 49ers. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that. Okay, speaking of a team that had an 80% loss, they actually had a worse loss. The injured 49ers lost to the Arizona Cardinals 24-23 at one point in this game. And I wanted to make sure that they have this correct. Let me get this. They had
49ers had
92.2% odds of winning the game at one point in the third darn quarter, and they blew it. They had a 10-point lead. 10-point lead with 5 minutes and 33 seconds in the third quarter. They had a 93.2% odds of winning this game, and they blew it at this moment. Oh my God. This is almost as glorious as that one time when the Falcons in 2020 had 5 game. I think it was 4 games in a row where they had a 99.9% odds of winning, and they blew it. They blew 4 games in a row. It was ridiculous. But 49ers last week, I think I gave them the 6. It's not looking good for 49ers. They're winning the injury bowl. I think they're going back to the old 49ers remember when they made it to a Super Bowl that one year against the Kansas City Chiefs in 2020 and then decided to get injured and Garoppolo played like crap. This feels like this team where they're not going to make the postseason. I'm giving them the 5, in my opinion.
Yeah, and last week I gave them a 5. So I don't know. I mean, man, without Christian McCaffrey, it seems like he's a glue. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Brandon Ayuk did have an amazing game, and that was his first great game of the season because he got paid all that money. But they still played a heck of a game. Yeah, they had that 93% chance of winning with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. They're up 23-13. So it looks like their defense fell apart at some point. I would keep him at a 5. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, he'll be back in the next, 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's until week 9.
Oh, okay. So that means next 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll see if they can turn around. But, right now they're playing as a team that's not going to be making the playoffs. And I'd say, just barely missing the playoffs. But
what did I give them? What did I give them last week?
Last week you gave them a 6. Yeah, you and Stu gave them a 6. I gave them a 5.
Yeah, I'll bump them down to a 5. They're injured, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You still lost. You lost a game that you should have won.
That's right.
It was kind of fun to see too. It was fun to see without using Marvin Harrison Jr. them come back as well. Heck yeah.
Good job, Marvin Harrison Jr. I got to say that. That is, you know what?
Well, yeah.
From Buckeye Nation to do
he had a
well
bad
against.
game. That's what I was saying. Like he did not play well.
Oh,
Yeah, he didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I think he had one catch.
No one gets help to win the game. Good job, Marvin Harrison Jr.
But there's a huge game on Thursday night, the 49ers versus the Seahawks. Like that's going to be a real early kind of window into who's going to win the NFC West, you know? Because if the 49ers win it, then they're sitting there tied atop the division and like all is okay in the world. But if the Seahawks win it and they're sitting there at 4-2, kind of a comfortable little lead potentially in the NFC West, it'll be a fun division.
It's going to be a fun division.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison, 2 catches, 36 yards. But yes, Doug, I like what you're saying. That Thursday night game is going to be huge. Huge.
Yeah, that'll affect a lot.
And now we got to talk about the next one, which is the Cardinals, who won a game. They finally did well. And it's so crazy because last week we gave the Cardinals sin of – we're going to start with you, Douglas. You gave the Cardinals a 3. How do you feel about the Cardinals now since they're now 2-3?
I mean, I've felt pretty decent about them. I'm going to give them a 4. I think they're a team that they're not – I don't know. It's hard to really see, but like Kyler Murray's looking back a little bit. He's – as he kind of continues to develop, they got a lot of nice pieces. They have Marvin Harrison. They have, James Conner and Terry McBride. So, like, there's some fun pieces there. I don't think they're going to necessarily make a hard run at the playoffs this year, but, like, if the NFC West is having a down year, who knows? They could sneak in there.
Yes. And I feel like last week I gave them 4. No, I believe I gave them the 3. Actually, let me do it.
No, you and Doug gave him a 4. I gave him a 5. Wait, no. Just kidding.
JK.
You and Doug gave him a 3. I gave him a 4.
I think I'll bump them up to the 4. I think, you know what? They're 2-4, 2-3. That's at least a good sign. I do feel confident that they're doing a lot better, but I don't know if they're going to make the postseason. I think they're kind of in that mid team. This is very much the most middest team. I think this is probably, if I think of a mid team, this is definitely Arizona Cardinals right now. And now, Fedor, last week you gave him the 4. What is your thoughts?
Last week I gave him a 4. This week I'm going to give him a 5. I mean, heck, now, and here's the reasons. Right now, record-wise, they're in front of the 49ers. It's because they beat the 49ers. The Cardinals are 2-0 in their division. And like Doug said, they have great offensive pieces, tight end Trey McBride. Marvin Harrison, seems like they're using him every other game. And last week was not a game that they used him. So this upcoming game that the Cardinals play, they should exploit and utilize Marvin Harrison to the full extent. So I'm expecting him to have a blowout game next week. Whoever they play, not really sure. Yeah, I'm okay with a 5. So they're doing the work.
We're doing the work, and you know what? The Cardinals just did a chirp, 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 chirp on those gold miners right now. And then speaking of hitting the gold mines, unfortunately got a lump of coal this week. We're going to talk about the LA Rams, who fortunately they ran themselves to another loss. We gave them triple 3s for this one. Lost 24-19 right now against the Packers. We're going to start with you, Douglas. What's your thoughts about them Rammies?
I mean, I'm not liking it. Like, yeah, sure, they can hang around, but like they're not winning any close games. They're super banged up. I mean, shoot, they have no sympathy for the 49ers because their 2 best receivers are out. Stafford's trying, but like, it's just kind of like they're missing Aaron Donald. They're missing Cooper Kupp. They're missing Puka Nacua. I'm going to bump them down to a 2. I mean, they only have 1 win. I mean, granted, they've been competitive, but like at the end of the day, it's 1 win.
Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers have beat a team. The Jacksonville Jaguars have beat a team. The Cleveland Browns have beat a team. It's like you can't say that you're better than any of those teams right now.
Yeah, and the only win is against the beat up 49ers. So yeah, last week I gave them the 3. I think I kind of agree with you. They're in the 2. Like they're in that same bad spot as sort of like the Bengals one, where it's like they should be a lot better. But granted, they unfortunately got a bug, and it's called the injury bug, and they've gotten super injured right now. So it is not looking good for Rams country, and they are just ramming it to the cliff.
I like what you guys are saying. Yeah, the Rams are one of 3 teams in the AFC who have not won an away game. They're actually 0-3. They have the most away losses in the entire NFC. So that means they have 5 or 6 more away games. Depends on how many away games versus home games they have. So yeah, and like you guys both said, the injury bug, it's like a swarm of bees just attacking the Rams at once. Because you have Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Doug, like you said, Stafford's trying his best, but man, just because you're doing your best doesn't mean you're gonna get a good outcome. So yeah, they're 1-4. I'm gonna put them down to a 2 as well because they're not doing it at the moment.
Look at that, where the stock is going down for the Rammies. And now we got to talk about. I guess I'll start with now my Douglas's favorite team right now, the Green Bay Packers.
Go Pack, go!
Go Pack, go! They're now 3-2. Jordan Love looked a lot better now. Like I said, I think last week was probably more just because he just started. Granted, it was a close game, but they're 3-2. That's a one good thing. They got one. I know Jordan Love got one interception. Last week we gave the Green Bay Packers, I should say. Last week
You gave him a 5. Doug and I gave him a 6.
They good enough to make the postseason? I still feel like I'm still kind of like in a mid. I'm feeling like, to be honest with you, I'm still feeling a 5 for right now. Like, I just don't know if they can make it to that postseason for right now. I still feel like they're in that mid. I think we'll see how Jordan Love does. And I think if he does do a lot better in a lot more games, and I think he does improve, and he was that Jordan Love of last year towards the end of the career, and not the one that hurt the Cowboys and beat them away at home, then maybe he'll do good. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And now Theodore, you're up next.
Last week I gave him a 6. They're going to stay at the 6 because right now they're ahead of the Bears in divisional standings. If I give the Bears a 6 and I don't give the Packers a 6, well, Packers won, so I can't derive from that. Can't make them go from a 6 to a 5. So yeah, keep them at a 6. The only thing, and the season's young. The only thing to worry about is they're 0-1 in the division at the moment. They've only played 1 out of 5 games, but hopefully that losing trend doesn't continue in the division. So that'll be a big. They'll hurt them in the long run if they're not successful against their division rivals.
Yeah, I'll stay with a 6 as well. I don't think they're necessarily good enough to win a playoff game at the moment, but they're still a fun team.
Yes. And speaking of fun teams, the Seattle Seahawks decided to lose to the New York Giants by 9 points, 20 to 29. And oh boy, what happened? Can anyone explain to this game? Why? Why do you lose to the Giants?
At home.
At home. I know Geno Smith was good, but God. They were close the whole time. Let's start with you, Christopher. What's your thoughts about the Seattle Seahawks?
Oh, let's go Seahawks. Last week I had the Seahawks. Oh, I have him at a 7. Both of you guys have him at a 6. Yeah, this NFC West division is a toss-up. It's going to be a big Thursday night game, like we mentioned earlier. Yeah, tough loss at home. I mean, man, they were losing the entire. Well, besides the first quarter when they're up 7-0, they were losing the entire game. Well, at halftime it was tied 10-10, but besides that, yeah, they just never looked up in that game. After halftime. Yeah, exactly. What happened? I don't know. Let's see. Last week, yeah, what did I just say? I had him at a 6. There has to be a division winner out of that NFC West, so I keep him at a 6 because yeah, right now they're currently winning the division. But yeah, that Thursday night game and next Tuesday when we all talk might be a different score for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, Douglas, you have to be next.
I like Chris's logic. I'm a 6 as well. Like, somebody's got to win the division. They might be an interesting one to put stock on because if you think they're going to beat the 49ers, maybe you think they're going to win a playoff game. But for right now, I don't know if I can trust them in the playoffs. Like losing at home to the Giants is a pretty bad loss.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, I'm going to probably give them the 6 as well. It is crazy that I still feel like, okay, I should feel like it should be more lower, but they're 3-2, and there's nobody. If they were in another division, or there's somebody that was in like a good lead, or this was in like the NFC North, I mean, I would probably lower them down to the 4. But for right now, they're 3-2. They're doing okay. I'll give them credit. They're at least the 6. And now, my God, I can't believe it. The Giants won 29-20. What is happening in this world? Can you explain to me this world? This is not computing my brain right now, Douglas. Like, Giants are supposed to look bad.
Stu, at least they fumbled away at the 1-inch yard line for me because I needed those fantasy football points. So they did Giants at least once this game. That being said, what did I give them last week? Like a 3 or a 4?
Well, you gave him a 3.
Yeah, I'll bump them up to
gave
a
him
4.
a 2. Doug, you and I gave him a 3.
I'll give them a 4. If they just scored 1 touchdown against the Cowboys, they would have won that game. They just beat a potentially decent, team on the road. They're gonna beat a team here and there.
I gave him a 2 last week. You know what? And as much as I like to crap on Daniel Jones and all that stuff, they did beat a good Seattle team, so I'm going to bump them up to the 3 for right now. I don't think I can get them up to the 4 because, let's be honest, I don't think this is a mid team. I think this is still a team that's going to beat up on bad teams. I just don't think they're going to be that elite. But I think I'll bump them up to the 3. I don't think their season's trash at this point, so we'll see. All right, Theodore, you're up next.
Are the Giants? Is there Giants are starting running back? Is he injured?
I believe he might be.
And who was their starting running back? Because it's some guy named Tracy, last name Tracy.
I don't know.
But yeah, I could have swore that it was a starting runner. Oh, it was
Tyron Tracy Jr. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure their starting running back might be Devin Singletary. Yeah, it is. Right. So he must have been injured or something. And nonetheless, I'm going to keep the Giants at a 3. Last week I had them at 3. This week, just because they win the game. I think it was sheer luck. They still scored 29 points at home to one of the better defenses in the league. Yeah, I'm just going to keep them at a 3. I can't really derive from it too much.
I'm sorry.
And guess what? We got to talk about my favorite game of the week. My favorite feeling good. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost to the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, 20-17 at Pittsburgh Stadium. And I just got to say one thing. In your face, Steeler Nation. In your face, Yinzers. But like I said, Justin Fields looked like he went back to old Justin Fields. And that was not really a good game. It was a good game, but all right. So we'll start with you. I guess I'll go first right now. Last week, we gave the Steelers a 6. We gave them all 666. They're now 3-2. They did beat a mid-Cowboys team, but this is a good question. Are the Steelers getting kind of bad now, or are the Cowboys getting better? That's a good question. Tomato. I got to figure this out. Are the Steelers crummy and all those losses were actually mean nothing, or is it just the Cowboys?
Well, to be fair, Stu, the Cowboys were losing most of this game.
Yes, I know.
I was about to say that there's 60 minutes in a football game, and they won the game with in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah,
so a win is a win, though. So I'll give Stewart and the Cowboys.
It was a nice win against a potential playoff team. Right?
Yeah, especially at home. And it's not Heinz Field anymore. It's something not Heinz Field.
It should be Iron City Field, just because of how many beers that the Steelers drink. I'm just saying it should be Iron City Field. I'm just saying. I'm gonna give it
Acrisure Stadium. Acrisure Stadium. Okay, that's a weird name.
That's a weird, terrible name. Trash name. I'm gonna give the Steelers going down to the 5, just because you know what? You did lose to the Cowboys. You're now going 3-2. You got a double loss. You did lose at home. You probably should have won this game. And Justin Fields kind of looks like old Justin Fields. So, but I'm going to give it back to the 5. So, all right, Christopher, we're going to talk about your favorite team. Your favorite
Steelers. No hate for the terrible towel.
You want me to raise those terrible towels every time? Yeah.
I actually used to own a terrible towel. It's because my dad, his coworker lived in Pittsburgh, so obviously they would have a Pittsburgh-Cleveland rivalry. Whenever some team would win, they'd have to send like a goodie bag of paraphernalia either from Cleveland or from Pittsburgh. So one time the Steelers won or Steelers lost. So my dad's coworker sent him a terrible towel. So actually we had one at the house. Nonetheless, right now the Steelers are 3-2, same place in our division. And I think the Ravens and the Steelers are going to make the playoffs from the AFC North. Had them at a 6 last week. I'm going to continue giving them a 6 because sure, they've lost 2 in a row. That might be, room for like, what's going on? But yeah, they were winning for 59 minutes and 40 seconds out of that game on Sunday night. But a loss is a loss. But right now, the way they're playing and the way the AFC conference is looking, they'd still make the playoffs.
Stu, how much of this game did you actually watch?
A little bit before I had.
Come on, sir. You were sleep. You were sleeping.
Yeah, I was sleeping.
I'll give him a 6 as well.
All right.
I'm tired of talking about them. I think it'd be really funny if this was the year that Tomlin's streak ended. Because like they're like, this is the first time that they're focusing on it. Like, wow, he's never had a losing record. So I'm kind of low-key rooting for like the Bengals and Browns and Ravens getting hot and then them missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
But for right now, they look like a playoff team. TJ Watt is amazing.
All right. And now I got to talk about my team, America's team, who I watched the whole game and did not go to bed early because I had to wake up for flight. But Dak had 2 interceptions. They did look kind of bad. They almost blew this game right now. But thank God.
I don't think it's called blowing the game when you were losing the whole time.
Yeah, they almost were losing this game. And thank you, Jaden Turbin. Dak throwing the last touchdown. 20 seconds left in the game. Felt good. It felt glorious. I feel like I'm going to give the Cowboys. Last week I gave them the 5, bumped them up. They're 3-2 now. That's a good sign. I got to give them to the 6. I think, you know what? I think they could make that postseason. They're in that barely. They're like that low 6, in my opinion. I feel like this is like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like low 6. If they make it to the postseason, they're probably going to get crumpled. But you know what? I don't care. This is the year we're going to win a Super Bowl. In my heart of hearts, I still give them a 10.
Mm-hmm.
You said give him a 10, but you said in your heart, not on here. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, last week we all gave him a 5. They were winning at halftime, 6-3. Nail biter. Yeah, the Cowboys. They've won 2 in a row. As much as I dislike to say that, and dislike to say what I'm about to say, is right now they would make the playoffs, second place in their division, and the way they bounced back from a 1-2 start, or was it even 0-2? I think it was an 0-2 start.
No, they beat the Browns in the first game. Don't forget about that.
Oh, yeah, I will never forget that.
We just massacred them Brownies. I'm just saying.
So yeah, I'm going from a 5 to a 6 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep them at a 5.
Boo! Boo!
They're just not a team that, to me, actually can like beat high quality teams like consistently. Like they don't have any running game.
Wait a minute.
Like their defense is okay, but not as good as it should be. Like I just think that they're just gonna have to rely on Dak throwing too much. It kind of feels like a Saints situation going on to me, with like Derek Carr trying to like save the day and just having to throw it a ton. And like sometimes it works, but like once you have a team that actually shuts your offense down, you kind of realize that you got nothing. Like, they don't have a running game. They don't have a way to sustain anything outside of Dak throwing 50 times a game. I think they still have to play, like the Eagles and the Commanders in their division. And they might be the third best team in their division. I don't know. So they're a 5 for me.
How dare you? And you know what? We're going to the Super Bowl and we're going to win multiple Lombardis. I don't care. Raymond Dakota.
Is there one of those bet lines that we can talk about at the end of the episode where we can bet on who will not win a Lombardi trophy? Because I would love to put the Cowboys on that list.
How dare you? How dare you?
Stuart, it happens every year. They make the playoffs and then they fumble thing. Well, not literally fumble, but they fumble. They just don't. They're not successful.
How dare you?
But they are being more successful than my Cleveland Browns. So
that
you
is
have
true.
to talk
That
there.
is true. That's true. Dak has more playoff wins than the Cleveland Browns in the last 20 years.
All right, there we go. I like the statistic. Thank you.
Yes. And now we got to speaking of teams that just basically kind of looked like they were mid until the second half. The Saints lost to the Kansas City Chiefs 13-26. They are now 2-3 right now. And I guess we'll start with you, Fyodor. What is your thoughts about the Saints?
Last week, we all gave the Saints a 5. And I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the season, we were riding high on the Saints because they had the offensive MVP, front runner, Alvin Kamara. Potato. They've lost 3 straight games now. They're 2-3. Let's see. Standing wise, they're sitting in third place in the NFC South. Yeah. And like I said, last week we all gave him a 5. Based on that performance, I'm very surprised that Kamara did not have a touchdown. So I put him from a 5 to a 4, actually. It's a tough game. You're away. You're at Arrowhead Stadium or whatever it's called now. You're in Kansas City playing against the Chiefs. So, yeah, 5 to a 4.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to do the same. Like, not much. I don't know. Their offense that once looked awesome looks very flat right now.
Yeah.
Like, where is Chris Olave out there?
Where's your Ohio State Buckeyes? Where's he at?
Where's the Buckeye Nation that can help out the Saints?
Marvin Harrison Jr. with 2 catches. I think Olave had like 2 catches.
Hey, Garrett Wilson, he had a touchdown.
Garrett Wilson had like 100 targets, though, so he made up for it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I feel like the Saints are probably – who did I say was also the most mid team? Was there one team they put as the most mid?
Cardinals.
I think for the AFC, this is the most mid team right now, and it's got to be New Orleans Saints right now. It's them or Cardinals. I'm giving them the 4 right now. I think they're looking okay, but it's like, I don't think this team's going to make the postseason. We'll see how it goes. And I can't believe they pulverized us Cowboys. I'm just saying. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. And now, Douglas, last week you gave the Kansas City Chiefs an 8. They're now 5-0. We'll put it this way, Douglas.
Yeah, Doug gave him an 8. Stuart, you and I gave him a 9.
I'm not changing my opinion on this one.
What?
I'll keep it fast. I'm going to keep him at an 8.
Why? Why don't you want
to? I don't think that them versus the Ravens or the Texans is a guaranteed win, personally. I mean, they might benefit because they might get home field advantage this year. So, they're probably still the best team. But, also every week I never walk away leaving impressed.
I think this is the first week I could say that they impressed me because I actually watched the entire Monday night game. And that was – they systematically beat the Saints. They were without Rashee Rice, who's actually out for the remainder of the season with an LCL injury. So yeah. Sorry, Stu. It's your turn, anyways.
I feel like I got to give the Kansas City Chiefs a 9. I feel like I'm like a broken record where it's just like, long they have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, they're still fine. That defense looks legit. They got so many interceptions right there in that game because of the defense. 9. I think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be shocked if they 3-peat it.
Ooh, well, might as well give them a 10, Stu.
I know, but I don't think they're guaranteed the Lombardi.
I gave them a 9 last week. I'm keeping it at 9 because, they're just somehow Mahomes and Andy Reid. They're 5-0, so they're always winning games.
All right.
Can you believe it? Triple 5-0. Since preseason, I've not changed my score on the Kansas City Chiefs so far.
Very nice. All right. Well, can I transition us into our next segments?
Yes, we got the quick next segment. Woo, woo, woo.
So, usually at this point, we'd just be done. How boring is that? Now we're going to jump into our next two segments. First, we're going to do our 3 wagers that we've discussed here earlier. And then we're going to go into actually buying some stocks real quick. So get your list ready.
Yes,
We'll buy $15 worth of shares. But first, let's jump down to wagers of the week.
Woo.
So what are we doing for these wagers of the week here?
So do we all want to put $5 per wager in the pot that you're participating in?
Yes.
So like, what are we wagering on here?
So first one is we're all going to pick a coach who's the first coach fired.
Oh, okay. All right.
I am going to go. Can I go with my number first?
Sure, Stu.
I'm going to go with.
Wait. First off, before we start playing, are we doing $5 and then
winner takes all?
Sounds good. Sir, you okay with that? $5?
Let's do it. Number one, I'm going to go with your favorite. I'm going to go. Who looks like. I feel like I still have a weird feeling the Giants is going to fire their head coach first.
So Stuart's saying New York Giants. I think it's stable.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay. So, Stu, Chris, who you got?
Initially, I did say the Carolina Panthers. Man,
that's your pick.
I said initially. It was during the podcast here a little bit ago. Man, yeah, I would have to go. I'm gonna go with the New York. I'm sorry. We can't have the same. Well, we could have the same one. I'm gonna go with the New England Patriots head coach
for 1 year.
Yeah, if he can't, work out Jacoby Brissett and then Drake May.
It's after 1 year, and
we've seen coaches do a lot less than 1 year.
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw the Carolina Panthers fire him after week 12. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I'm torn personally between the Browns and the Raiders, but I'm going to go with the Raiders because I think that their coach was an interim head coach that they took a chance on, and this team is getting worse, and it's not looking good.
All right.
So, who will be the first team eliminated from the playoffs? Team officially eliminated.
So what happens if we have the same team, though? How do we
I think it's fine. That? I think we'll just split it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, we'll just split it 250.
Are we doing $5 for each question or overall? Like
I was thinking per question.
All right, I'm cool with that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Stuart, who will be the first team officially eliminated from the playoffs?
Oh, get that one. Oh, Patriots.
All right, Stuart's going the Patriots.
I figured Stuart was going there because that's the exact team I'm going with as well, the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
I have no faith in Drake May, nor should anyone have any faith in Jacoby Brissett either.
I will laugh. Are we going to get the Triple Crown, Douglas? Are you going to say?
No, I'll keep it interesting here just to change it up a little bit. Trying to think about the different divisions.
Who's crummy enough? Who's getting that number one?
I'll go with the Panthers. Like I think that they I think the other 3 teams in the division are kind of all decently strong and they're clearly the worst. So they're gonna get beat up on by everybody else in that division. So will the Patriots, but whatever. I'll go with the Panthers.
All right.
And Stu, did you want to do a $5 bet on the Lions versus the Cowboys?
Ooh.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh, you do?
Let's do it. Let's
straight up. Or are you guys going spread or?
Yeah,
I think straight up, right?
Straight up. I'm believing on one team, and it's America's team. We are going to win this, and you know what? I will laugh. You know what's going to be my pick? The Detroit Lions will lose because of the tuck rule.
All right, Stu. I hope that you're wrong.
And then you're going to be bitching about this whole game. You're going to be bitching about this game. I'm just saying. Stu,
I'm not going to be bitchy because I already expect it. I know what's going to happen here. There's no disagreement. All right. So, wonderful. I look forward to it. I hope this time next week I'll be telling you about Jameson Williamson running for 150 yards.
Woo!
Hey, make sure you put your guys' names. Who you guys are picking in that game?
Oh, we know who we're picking.
I just know who you guys are picking.
Oh, come on. We know who we're picking.
Yeah, well, we didn't write it down, so I think Doug took the Cowboys. I could have swore I heard Steven said he wants the Lions.
All right. Let's do our last segment here. It's getting late. This last segment is simple. It's stocks we want to buy.
Right.
Everybody gets.
You have $15 to spend.
I'm thinking. Okay, so we got 15 shares. Okay. Ooh, who am I gonna?
Actually, no. We want to insert a table.
Oh,
that's what we really want.
Yay!
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna go with. Okay, let's start with you, Douglas. You got to go first.
All right, so I get to pick the first team I'll buy.
Yes, and like I said, you're gonna think that they're gonna go up in shares, so you're not gonna pick teams that are gonna be in the same spot. That is the one.
Well, yeah, because plus you want a team that goes down.
We're gonna bring the side back here too, so we can scroll a little bit. Okay.
Heck yeah.
So that way, I'm looking at my options here. I'm gonna buy some stock. I think I'm gonna buy some Cleveland Browns stock to start.
Yeah, that's right, because they're gonna beat the
Doug, remember, it's you want them to win. So their stock will increase in value.
Exactly. Who do they play this week?
The Eagles.
Exactly.
Wait. So what do you mean? $2 in stock? What do you mean by that?
That's what I'm buying them for. So they cost.
Yeah, you can buy them as many stocks. So basically, you can.
Well, no. So that's how much their current value is based on what we made of them today.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see. I gotcha.
So I'm buying them for $2. So if next week they're worth $4, then I have $4 worth of value.
Precisely.
All right. So
how many stocks of the Browns are you buying?
I'm just buying one, just $2 worth.
Okay, so that means you have $13 left, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Let's right.
Oh, sorry. All right. So I'm looking at this week 6.
All right. Who's making the next pick?
I am gonna go with.
Sounds like Stewart.
I'm gonna think about it. I think I might go. Give me $5 stock on the Bengals. I think they're going to do well. I'm going to go give, and then I'm going to give 6 stocks to the Seattle Seahawks.
So you want to spend $11 here?
Yes, and then like I said, and then.
So wait. Hold on, Stu. So on the median, we had the Bengals at a 3. How are you getting $5 off of that? You can't buy partial stocks.
I think you have to do full shares, Stu.
Yeah, you can't do partial stocks here, buddy.
Yeah, we're not doing partial stocks. So you can do 2 shares of the Bengals for 6.
You can do 5 stocks of the Bengals for all 15.
Oh! So it's a share. Okay, I'm gonna go 3 for the. I'm gonna go 3 for the Bengals, 2 for the Seahawks.
Well, so you can do 3 for the Bengals because that's what they're worth. But if you want the Seahawks, you got to buy a full share.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay, I'm gonna go Bengals.
Because Seahawks are worth 6 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just want the Bengals, 1 share of the Bengals for a median of 3.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, who's your first one going to be?
I'm going high on the Bears. I'm going 3 full stocks on the Bears because they're valued at $5 right now. So that's
So all 15 on the Bears.
All 15 on the Bears.
All right.
Because the Bears next week, let's see here. It's a home game, and they are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh God. It's not a home game because it's in London. Well, we'll see. I already put it down. So, yeah.
All right. I will take. Oh man, see, I need to pull up matchups this next week because I was more right now.
I came prepared.
I got the matchups here, so don't worry. I got them on my phone.
I'm pulling them up because I was thinking I wanted some Rammies, but they're on a bye week, so that'd be a silly one to buy.
Hey, you do protect your stock money.
Yeah. I'm gonna go the opposite of Chris. I'm gonna pick the Jaguars. How much are the Jaguars? They're a 2. I'm gonna buy 5 shares of the Jaguars.
My God.
So that's $10. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Because
think.
I think that they're going to beat the Bears and show that the Bears are overrated.
Ooh. True, that would stop the Bears' 3-game win streak.
My God,
Exactly.
I can't believe we're all in on the $10 shares. Chris is already done because he put all his money on the Bears. He went all in on the Bears. I still want to do the Seahawks, but I can't do all the money, right?
You can do the Seahawks. They're just costing.
Yes, sir. You still have $12 left. You can buy 2 shares of the Seahawks right now.
Let's go do it for the 2 shares for the Seahawks. I think they're going to do something good.
Nice. $12 for the Seahawks.
Let's go.
Oh, that's Thursday nights too? Oh, here we go.
Let's go.
All right. And then I have who do the Giants play this next week?
They got to play against a crummy team.
Oh, that's what I want my last share to be.
Bengals? Against the Bengals?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Ooh, Sunday night game, prime time. Woo!
All right.
I think, there we go. I'm going for some upsets.
All right. We got all the shares. Looks like we all
like
did
that.
it.
I like that.
We all got 15. We'll see what they're worth next week.
Let's see how it goes. And like I said, do you have any final thoughts before we end this?
Oh, go Lions. Boo, Cowboys. Boo.
Boo! Boo!
Go Bears.
Also, I got to say one thing. America's team is about to be dominant.
Also, go Tigers. Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Let's go Guardians.
We're heading
to the game on Thursday.
I think this is our rivalry week here on the segment, apparently.
Yeah. Lions versus Cowboys, Guardians versus Tigers. Ooh, oh my.
Oh my God. We'll see how it goes. And like I said, we'll talk about for next week, because next week we're going to talk about week 6. And like I said, everybody, I'm going to touch you later, Mr. Gators. So as always, take care. Bye-bye.